Guns, we're going to have a short talk about them. Have a look at this picture on the barrel that says wrong house. That's what a burglar would say if he broke into my house and many other houses as well. Because good guys want to look after their family, etc. And hey, the bad guys are coming in and some of them are armed. And they should know that maybe their work is harder sometimes than it is. You should put a sign outside pointing at the neighbor saying, he's a liberal, he's all in favor of gun control, maybe go there. Just saying. In Canada, impaired drivers kill 4 people every day. Every day, and 175 people are injured in Canada every day in impaired driving related incidents. That's a lot. Now let's just analyze that for a minute. That's much more than, or many more deaths than in guns or gun-related incidents. But let's just analyze it and say, okay, when you're talking gun control, you're always, or they rather are always talking about the item, the gun. Somebody goes and kills somebody with a gun, let's ban guns. So hey, if you have 4 people a day driving while impaired, isn't it strange that they always say give them longer sentences, but the cars are okay? Somehow that doesn't seem very right, does it? It isn't right. You want to ban cars? Maybe you'd save 50,000 lives a year in America, North America, or more than that even. Why not ban cars, or at least take the speed limit down to 5 miles an hour if saving lives is really what these left-wing people are after? They're not. They're just trying to get rid of your guns, and you know what? That's hypocritical to say the least. Drunk laws are always said to be, hey, we got to make them tougher. Gun laws do the same thing, but do it to the criminals, not to the good guys and not to guns. Let me kind of share this with you. I made a bunch of notes. I got to read it. I wrote it down, but it's about guns. You know, guns are dangerous. We get that. People can kill on impulse with a gun. On the other hand, what about those who want to use guns to defend themselves? Banning guns from cities doesn't stop criminals from getting guns. Just doesn't. That's kind of common sense. Pro-gun people focus on cases of self-defense and hunting and target shooting. That would be us. And the anti-gun people always focus on wrongful use of guns. Both sides are real. Both sides have their own point and their own agenda. We all get that. What is the proper way to think about this issue then? Hey, I know the answer I've come to is to reject the collective, you know, the mindset, the collectivist mindset, if that's the right verbiage. I mean, you gotta say lives are not balanceable one against the other. That's pretty straightforward stuff. Junking that collective approach, I think, kind of opens up whole new ideas, whole new visions in one's mind. The idea that the lives of a few can be sacrificed to the lives of many, you know, taking the individual approach, the individual right, your rights and my rights. Rights define the proper limits of state action. Okay? They recognize the areas within which the individual is sovereign, entitled to act in his own judgment, free from interference by his fellow man and by the state. The fundamental right is the right to life. Okay, I think we all agree on that. I got to say it again. The fundamental right is the right to life. You know, the right to liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness. Government is to, they've been established to secure these rights. Okay, all my little notes, hard to read, but I would write it here. Work with me. The only thing that can deprive a man of his life or property or liberty is physical force. Guns, clubs, chains, or some form of physical contact can kill you, can injure you. And, you know, what do you do then? The proper job of government is to protect the individual's rights by wielding force against the force initiated by criminals. In other words, often they come and they measure the body and then they put the criminal in jail, right? Many times he gets a check in his shirt. The threat of force is force. The government and to the evil, I guess, of preventive law. The government cannot treat man as guilty until man has proven himself to be, for the moment at least, innocent. No law can require the individual to prove that he won't violate another's rights in the absence of evidence that he's going to. A lot of funny verbiage here, but I think you're kind of with me and you kind of get the point. People with guns, like myself, gun owners, we're already guilty and we need to be dealt with in a certain manner. So say they being the left-wing government. But you know what? Gun control laws do not work. Gun control laws use force against the individual in the absence of any specific evidence that he is about to commit a crime. You don't know that I'm going to commit a crime, but yet you've made it difficult for me to have a firearm, and yet I passed all of the tests. Okay, they say to the rational, responsible gun owner, you may not have or carry a gun because others have used them irrationally or irresponsibly. Thus, preventive law preventive law sacrifices the rational and responsible, that would be me, people like me, to the irrational and irresponsible. That's unjust, totally unjust, and it is just wrong. Wanted to share all that information with you today, just a guy to get you all fired up. If you're a gun owner, and if you're not a gun owner, respect the rights of other people. You don't like guns? Don't buy one. The safest person you could ever be beside in the whole world is a gun owner, a licensed gun owner. In Canada, for instance, he has a background check done every day. A licensed or an owner in the U.S., if he's not licensed, he too has a background check when he buys a firearm. What is the problem? Let me end today with something a little bit lighter. Here's a man who lacks female supervision. See ya.